And good evening. We're starting with breaking news. The southbound lanes of I-17 are closed right now at Camelback after a crash. Here's a live look from an ADOT camera. DPS tells us that at least one person suffered serious injuries. ADOT says there is no estimated time for the highway to reopen. Tonight, is Helen Simmons a suspect, a victim, or both? Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Kariba Devine. The 12 News I-Team uncovered what really happened underneath the surface of a high-profile robbery in Anthem in their new series called He Made Me Do It.
I-Team journalist Erica Stapleton is here with part one of their investigation and a warning. Some of the footage you'll see is tough to watch.
On July 12th, we won't forget that day here in Anthem. All of a sudden, we saw police, everything happening here, and they had everything locked down.
And then out they come, and we're like, oh.
And they said there was a shooting at the Andrews.
Do you see where they went?
They couldn't be in any of these businesses, right?
Nobody walks in with a pistol and just robs, right?
22 seconds is all it took.
Victim has gunshot wounds, right?
Multiple gunshot wounds, yeah.
All black clothing, black helmets. One appeared to be a female.
We have the video of inside of them actively doing it.
But these 22 seconds
Looks like she smashes everything.
And then that's when the shooting starts up here.
don't show the whole story.
The horrible things that happened to Helen, you wouldn't even want to see in a horror movie.
Why do you believe her? I'm investigative reporter Erica Stapleton, and this is He Made Me Do It, a 12 News I-Team series uncovering how a teenager from Vermont became a robbery suspect in Arizona, saying she was forced into the crime by an abuser.
We were told that you're a victim of human trafficking.
We take a hard look at whether a suspect can also be a victim.
She's a danger.
The system is set up for women like this or any victim like this to really fail.
And if allegations of abuse were ignored.
I don't think they care.
22 seconds.
Somebody please help me!
How did they decide to choose this little store in Anthem? That's what bothers me.
Joe Alvarez is all about Anthem. He's the past president of the Rotary Club, friends with the jeweler.
I still call it miracle.
Who survived the shooting.
His injuries were very significant.
Very significant. He's lucky to be alive. He's a fighter. He's a fighter, and you know what? There's people that said that he put himself in harm's way to protect the young ladies in that. And he took the brunt of what happened.
There were 5 people working in the store at the time of the robbery, who we aren't showing or naming to respect their request for privacy. And another warning, what you're about to see is hard to watch.
Have you guys seen the video yet?
The surveillance video shows some of the employees in the front cleaning up before closing when the 2 suspects came through the door.
He's got the gun.
The employees run to the back as the guy with the gun pushes forward. The other starts smashing the cases, even though the jewelry's not there.
I don't think they got anything.
The jeweler comes out from the back with his own gun, confronting the robbers when he gets shot.
Probably didn't even plan on shooting, but he did when he saw the gun pointed at him.
They fled with nothing.
They didn't take any jewelry.
I know. They wanted cash. It was amateurs. You can tell it was amateurs.
While the community rallied around the jewelry store employees, the suspects were still at large.
They ran that way and went to the back.
Security video shows them on a motorcycle.
So they pulled in right here.
And law enforcement immediately started to search the area, high and low.
Who knows, they might be hunkered down.
Anthem on edge until 4 days later. Police in California chasing a U-Haul.
I remember this one.
Miles Madison, a photojournalist with County News Service, caught it all on camera. The chase goes on for more than an hour until police blew out the U-Haul's tires.
The driver just had a face of defeat, and I remember the female was visibly upset.
Police in California arrested 22-year-old Matthew Jones and 18-year-old Helen Simmons, their descriptions matching the suspects in the Anthem armed robbery case.
The robbers were captured over the weekend after a police chase in California.
The Bonnie and Clyde-like couple causing chaos.
They found a motorcycle packed in the back of the truck, black clothing, helmets, a hammer.
Oh, there was a sense of relief, right? They've got him. Now we got to make sure that justice is served.
But much like the video of the robbery, the arrest doesn't tell the whole story.
You meet him on Tinder in Phoenix?
Yes.
Matthew Jones is a guy Helen met just a few weeks before, who she said wouldn't let her go. Next time on He Made Me Do It.
We were told that you're a victim of human trafficking.
He made me do some horrible things.
And this is so far beyond the scope of anything that she would do.
I didn't want to do it. He made me. I just wanted to go home.
You left us there on a cliffhanger, Erica. Why did you guys decide to look into this particular case?
Well, you know, a lot of times we cover a story, something happens, especially this. I know we covered it extensively. We wanted to know what happened. And we got a tip from somebody who was involved in the case, said, hey, you should really look at this. This is what this girl said after she was arrested in California. And once we started looking at it, we're like, okay, there might be some veracity to this. There might be some truth to this.
Yeah.
So we started looking at it, and what we were able to uncover, we'll be telling you week by week another part of this story. But there's a lot more to this than just what was shown in that robbery video.
And this series focuses on whether she was a victim or the villain in the case. And I'm wondering how much access you had to police interviews as you investigated this.
You know, Mark, this is something that became so important to our investigation. It's not something we always get access to, but we have hours and hours of police footage from multiple agencies where you can see what she said in the moments after she was arrested, as you know, the months go on after this case is kind of going through court. So all of that is really important as we continue to tell this story, what she says as it unfolds.
And where can people watch?
So 12 News Plus,
Okay.
12news.com, 12 News YouTube channel. That was just a portion of our first part, so you can see the full thing there. And then, as I said, week by week, we're going to be putting out a different part to this stories for the next 6 weeks. So please tune in. It's really incredible to see what happens next.
Yeah, it's fascinating. We'll be watching. All right, Erica, thank you. Well, tonight, a Valley family is demanding answers after their loved one was killed in a shooting involving Phoenix police officers this weekend. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra in Phoenix with why the family says this death could have been prevented.
The family tells me they want more details about what led up to Amani Jackson's death, including watching the body camera video worn by officers involved in the shooting.
He took a lot of people's hearts with him.
Dozens of people near the corner of 25th Avenue and Buckeye Road Sunday evening standing in solidarity of Amani Jackson.
Words can't even fathom how great he was.
The same corner Jackson died the night before.
We just want to know what truly happened to him, because what they're saying, my dad would never.
Phoenix police say a man was allegedly threatening several people with a gun near 27th Avenue and Van Buren around 3:30 Saturday morning. That man got in a car and drove off. Several minutes later, officers stopped a similar-looking car near 25th Avenue and Buckeye Road. The driver, identified as 46-year-old Amani Jackson, got out of the car and ran away from police. Surveillance video from a nearby store shows Jackson walking with his hands up as officers chased after him. What police say happened next is not shown on this video.
The individual did reach towards his waistband. After that was the officer-involved shooting, and that we do have a gun that is found on scene.
Police say 2 officers shot Jackson at least once. He did not survive. Investigators are still working to learn if Jackson was the man involved in the initial shooting call.
There's still a lot of linking these 2 cases up forensically, through video, through other witness statements and victim statements at the original scene, putting, if these 2 are related, putting those 2 together.
Jackson's family wants to know more.
We really just want the body cam footage, the names, how many times he was shot.
But believe he should still be here today.
He didn't do anything. It could have been prevented if they just tased him, or they could have done anything else. They didn't have to shoot him multiple times.
Police tell us there were no other injuries from either incident. Reporting in Phoenix, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Tonight, Phoenix police are searching for a driver that killed a bicyclist and didn't stop. It happened last night near 16th Street and Buckeye Road. Police say that the bicyclist died at the hospital. Detectives are looking for a light-colored truck with possible damage. They're asking anyone with information to contact police at 480-WITNESS.